Okay, servus. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the am plus infinitive construction and how it's used and where it's used. So the am plus infinitive construction is formed just how you might think by taking am, which is a contracted form of an dem, and letting the infinitive follow that. Now, whether the infinitive follows directly or not is a question for a little bit later that we'll get into. But first off, I'd like to mention that this construction is something that has been attested within the entire West German Sprachraum, so like a linguistic area. And it stretches from the far northwest of Germany to Switzerland. So it's a pretty broad area that it's being used in. That being said, it is sometimes referred to as the Rheinische Verlaufsform, so the progressive form of the Rhineland, or the Rhinelandic progressive form, because it's thought to originate there. Whether or not it does actually is a matter of debate. But yeah. And as you can see, based on our map, sie ist noch am Schlafen is our sentence, and it is sehr üblich, or very commonplace, very common in the West. And the farther east we go, the less common it becomes to say that. Now, one reason why it might stem from the Rhineland is the Rhineland's proximity to Belgium and the Netherlands. And this construction actually does exist in Dutch. So we have this example over here, and I don't speak Dutch, so please be nice. Ik ben aan het eten. I am on the eating. Ich bin am Essen, literally. And it pretty much mirrors, except for the fact that the preposition isn't contracted with the article. It pretty much mirrors the German expression almost exactly. So yeah, something to note. Cool. So that's all well and good. So we have these sentences like ich bin am Duschen, ich bin am Schlafen, but you can't. Well, duschen is reflexive, and you can't sleep somebody. So basically, what I'm saying is these are sentences that generally don't take direct objects. So what if we wanted a direct object? So an accusative complement. So we have a couple examples here, and we'll see that the placement of the accusative complement varies a little bit. And that may be regionally conditioned, or many of these may be accepted across a broad area. Here it's important to take into consideration that these are just the results of one particular study, so they don't necessarily represent the whole truth, but part of it. So yeah, we've got a couple sentences here that have an accusative complement. We have ich bin Äpfel am Schälen. I am apples on the peeling. Ich bin am Äpfel schälen. I am on the apples peeling. And then the same sentence, except where Äpfel and schälen have been put together as one compound infinitive, if you will. So yeah, there are also other complements that this particular construction can take. There are no doubt tenses where it doesn't occur or isn't attested to occur, but it does take quite a lot of complements. So a dative complement is dir am helfen. Now, I think it's much more likely that you're going to hear hilft dir, but this is just one sentence that's attested, and this particular example was found online. So take it for what you will. The next one, another way of dealing with the situation when you want to use a direct object, but you don't want to squeeze it either in between the am and the schälen or in front. You can use a genitive component and say, ich bin am Schälen der Äpfel. So I am on the peeling of the apples. So that's one way of dealing with it. Cool. So now we have a couple of sentences to look at. Ist am Äpfel schälen. And if we look at this one, we see that we have, once again, a strong correlation to the west of Germany. And the farther east we go, the less common it becomes. Ist Äpfel am schälen, however, is where we have our direct object before the am construction, is for whatever reason less attested, except for in that Rhein-Ruhr area. So with this example, ich bin gerade die Uhr am reparieren, we can see once again we have a strong correlation in the west and less so in the east. Keep this example in mind because we have some sample sentences here at the end of this video that we're going to look at that play with this word order a little bit. The next one, quite a stark difference. Ich bin noch am Überlegen, ob ich mitfahren soll. So this am Überlegen, überlegen rather, is a verb for whatever reason, has become one of these verbs that's really popular to use in this with this am infinitive construction. And as a result, we see it not only in the eastern parts of Germany, but all the way in Austria. So this didn't strike people as weird or uncommon at all. Cool. So I went and asked a friend if he would evaluate some sentences for me. And I basically just played around with the word order and used the sample sentences that we had from this study as a base. So if we look, we have ist Äpfel am schälen, ist am Äpfel schälen, ist am Äpfel schälen, but put together. But no, ist am schälen die Äpfel. He did not like that, my test bunny. Now, if it was ist am schälen der Äpfel, so he is on the peeling of the apples, then that might be accepted by few people. So anyway, 2 and 3 are composed of a subject pronoun plus the copula sein, plus am, plus the direct object, plus the infinitive. The only difference between 2 and 3 is that they're written together as one word, as one big infinitive in 3, and in 2 they're not. 2 and 3 correspond also to 6 and 7, though. And you'll see that I did essentially the same thing there, where I had a subject pronoun plus the copula sein, am, direct object, and then the infinitive. And for whatever reason, he said it didn't sound right. And this is the exact same structure as 2 and 3. But for whatever reason, this am Uhr reparieren doesn't sound right to at least one native. And then lastly, 8 is the same as 4. It needs to be am reparieren der Uhr if you were to put the words in this particular order. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. So see you next time, and danke für das Zuschauen. Vierte, tschüss, baba.